Hello, and welcome to Needing a Meeting. My name is Carol. I'll be your host today. Woo! Hey. Well, sorry to be late today. Hope you guys are all doing well. I took the 3 puppies to the vet, and Edie, and she, the fur baby, she has a broken pelvis, which was much better news than I was, I was kind of scared it was going to be worse. Hi, Henny. And so pelvis, the vet just said um, confinement and time, and so we've got her. When we got her home, I had to get a horse stall kind of cleaned out and fresh straw and her blanket in there and her, her comforter and her food and water and all that good stuff. And then I needed food and water. And everybody made it, car sickness and all. So good to see you guys. So that's my story. We had to carry, Edie is 70 pounds and we had to carry her everywhere. That was fun. And we kind of had to carry the puppies to and from the car too. And they're getting to be chunka-wunkas. What do you
25 pounds.
25 pounds easy, if not more. I am too, Henny. I'm so relieved. I'm glad to know what it is.
It's not the worst hip
It's
fracture.
not the worst thing that could have, obviously not the worst that could have happened. Oh, but
the bones didn't separate. They're still intact enough to knit.
Yeah, they're intact enough to knit. So we got to see the x-rays and all that good stuff. So yeah. Hey, Christy.
How are you?
I forget I have to do this now. I don't know why. Steve worked with me on getting this microphone back up and running again, and I guess this is the way it works.
You're a sound system.
And Steve says I'm a sound system now, whatever that means.
Look at you. I'm not. I'm a broken tripod with a phone. My dog's got a hold of my tripod, and the third little thing snapped off, so I've got 2, and it's propped up against this big handle. I'm gonna have to take a picture to send y'all to see what I Steve would be mortified. He'd be like, "Oh, we need to help this lady."
Hubby I guess Lene's wanting to know, hubby okay too? I don't know. My hubby's fine. How's your hubby?
Good. He was able to start work this week, so that was really good. So yeah, he's doing good, ornery as ever. So. But yeah, so I seen Edie, she had a broken pelvis.
Yeah.
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 That.
I was afraid it was going to be much, much worse.
Right.
Even though she could stand on it, she could sit on it, she could lay down, she could move
Mhm.
around.
Mhm.
The vet just wants me to limit her mobility, so we've got her in a horse stall.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Did they give you a bunch of medication,
Yeah, she's got antibiotics and the carprofen I was already giving her.
Yeah, good. I remember when Sweetie was like that, they told me that keeping her from moving was the best thing to do, because if you didn't, her pelvis could heal wrong and it could cause her more pain down the road. And so they're like, you really have to make sure she doesn't move a lot. Like, they did not want her. They only wanted her up to go to the bathroom, and that was it.
Yeah.
They, and that was hard, because then as it started to heal, she started to feel better, and then she wanted to run and jump, and I was like, No,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh.
you could just tell she was feeling better,
Yeah.
but, at the same time, you're like, "Yeah, I know you're feeling better, but slow down," so,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh. Well, I'm glad it
So
was only that. I know that's, like, not a nice thing to
it's
say,
not the
but I'm
best
glad
it's not what you want, but,
I
Sweetie went out the window. What? Duck the cheese, Michael, by the way. I don't know what that means, Sweetie went out the window.
Oh, I
From
know what she's
Lene?
talking about.
Okay.
There was one night where I was sitting next door visiting with my, with my neighbor, and I had the window open so Sweetie could get fresh air, and she pushed the screen out and jumped out the window, and it was a 3-foot drop. So and this was when she still had her broken leg, like, we hadn't had her leg amputated yet, and she jumped out the window, and, I was sitting talking to my neighbor lady, and I'm like, "Is that my dog?" And she goes, "I think so." And I'm like, "We need to get her." So you've never seen 2 ladies jump up and run so fast off the porch, and we're, like, trying to wrangle her back in. Yeah, so after that, I couldn't leave the window open because she would push that out. Turns out she was in heat, and she was trying to get to the neighbor's
Oh.
dog. And I was like, "Wait a minute, she's got a broken leg and a broken pelvis, and you're telling me?" And they're like, "Christy, it's the animal kingdom." And I'm like, so after that, I had I keep the window closed. Yeah, so that's what that was. Yeah, I had told Lene that story. I was like, "She went out the window." Oh my gosh. But, well, other than all of that, is everything going good with you? Going good with everybody in the chat? Ben,
Guys,
hello.
hey, Ben. How are
How
you?
you doing? Not
Good.
bad yourself?
Hanging in there.
Glad you're here. Glad you're here.
So
Your volume is a little faint. I don't know.
okay. Mhm. I don't know how,
Okay.
but I'll
What's
figure it
going
out.
on?
Not much. How about with you?
Well, it's been an eventful day, but we all got through it. Puppies and dog and hubby and me alike.
Okay. That any better?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Yeah, I was using the webcam.
Are you guys hearing me echo?
Yeah, I'm hearing you echo, and Ben sounds like he's in a barrel.
I sound
And
like
it
I'm in a
sounds like
barrel?
you're in a reverb tunnel.
Really? Wow.
Have you got YouTube playing in the background?
Okay, not now.
Okay.
Huh.
Well, hmm.
Still echoing.
Still echoing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well,
Video input. Video.
Henny says, Ben, my friend, Ben, my friend. Good to see you.
Let's see here. Microphone.
Well, you were about to say something before I rudely interrupted to tell you about the volume.
Yeah, I don't know what on earth. Uh, no. I was
Okay.
gonna ask. I was gonna ask. So are you gonna lock up your doggy?
Yeah, she's in a horse stall right now.
Oh, so so you're the what do you call that? Who's in charge of a prison? That's
The
the
warden.
The
yes, you're the
warden.
warden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to keep her away from the tat artists and all
Yeah.
that good stuff.
Good to see you, Henny.
Hey, CK, good to see ya. Hi, Anik. I
Anik,
keep getting
hello.
the spinning loading thing. I keep getting the spinning loading thing. I don't know what that.
Everything is good on my end, so I'm not sure.
See if they can change the graphics down to like 480.
Steve recommends changing the graphics to 480
If it'll let you.
if it'll let you. Yeah, if it doesn't have to try to load as detailed a picture, it might not
On
buffer as
YouTube
much.
itself, in the YouTube window.
Oh, in the YouTube window, he says. Buffering. We hate buffering.
No, it's the worst. There's nothing worse than when you're and it always buffers at the wrong time. Have you ever noticed that? Like you get the
Mhm.
little spinny wheel of death right when you're like,
If I was going to drink, says Lene, it would have been today. Been all day on the phone dealing with Texas government regarding state benefits. I made it through. Glad you did, and I'm
oh,
glad you're still
glad you made
sober.
it through. You know, dealing with the state on anything
Uh,
is terrible. It's just terrible. So, um, oh, okay. Well, I seen CK said she just woke up, so I just was like, well, Renee, did you get it sorted out enough to kind of get some answers for you? Zelda, I was thinking about you yesterday.
I know, I was
haven't seen
too.
you.
I was thinking about
I'm,
you today, Zelda. Good to see you.
I'm so glad you're there.
Yeah. Are you guys hearing echoes too?
Yeah, yeah, it's echoing. And Ben's like doing a light flashing show, like it goes like light and dark. Like he got a laser show going on.
Well, I hope it's not the live cast that's buffering.
Oh, you've been working a lot? Oh,
Been working a lot. Yeah.
that's always, I mean, it's good in one sense because you get a bigger paycheck, but in the other sense, it's a lot, right? I'm glad you're here though. Has everything other than working, has everything been going good for you? Are you doing good, Zelda?
Yay. Glad to hear that, Lene Banahan. That is one of the most frustrating things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew. Glad you didn't. Yeah, glad you made it through sober. That's quite a feat.
Dealing with the state is enough to make a person who doesn't drink think. So, I'm glad that you did good. There's a bad.
Lene says, not the answer I wanted. Have to do another application online. Hearing some kind of feedback. Yeah, I'm hearing it too.
Yeah.
And then I'm not hearing it. Now I'm not hearing it.
I'm not hearing it now either.
Okay. Well, now it's back.
Zelda!
Everything good. 5 months off opioids. Okay, Mama's Tiara time.
I love that for you,
It's time
Zelda.
for Mama's Tiara. 5 months. That's amazing. How are you feeling?
Yes. That's awesome. Congratulations. That is such a big deal. That's so great. Yay!
I am loving that. 5 months.
Yes.
That's huge. That's
Yes.
huge. Congratulations, Zelda. Woo. I want to know how you're feeling about everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thumbs up. Zelda, Lene. Zelda, congratulations, says Henny.
Mhm. It just makes me so happy to see all of these great anniversaries coming around. And it just makes me so proud because I understand better now than I did before what an amazing feat that is,
It is.
to really and especially being new, fairly new on the journey. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yay! Anik, you can see and hear us.
can see and hear us. That's good.
Good. That's
Right
good. That's
on.
good. Awesome. Awesome.
Well,
Good.
I don't have a lot of news today. I just,
Right.
I feel like I have run 3 marathons, but other than that,
Imagine. Yeah. Yeah. La
La
Chameleon.
Chameleon, good to see you. Love to,
Hello.
yay! Thank you for showing up. I know that you've been having to be on the replay crew. It's good to see you
Yeah.
live. Hello,
Yeah.
everyone. Love to see everyone. Hopefully, being here will rejuvenate me. So please, that your fur baby is going to be okay. I hope she heals quickly. I hope she does too. I know she'll get amazing care, Carol. Yeah, I've rehabbed quite a few little critters in my time. Feeling much better. It's been an interesting time, but I made it. Was on them for 27 years for pain, and now the pain is better. Wow, I'd love to know what you're doing for the pain.
Yeah.
That's amazing. 100% congratulations, Zelda.
Yes. Yes. 27 years. Wow. That's
Wow.
quite a deal. That's
Ooh,
amazing. I'm so glad that after all of this, after that time that your pain is better, that you were able to get off of them.
yeah,
Um, that's really got to be that had to be quite a journey, you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
to
I would love to know, like, what made you decide that it was time to do something different one of these times when you're up for it.
yeah, yeah. And what you're doing now, like to manage your pain. Did the whole situation just get solved or, did you find some sort of herbal remedy?
Okay. Ooh, ouch.
It's back.
Yeah. Okay, let's see if it's still echoing. Okay. There doesn't seem to be such a big milestone of dates with eating disorders, right? Mine started at 8, and even though behavior stopped years ago, after 2 hospitalizations, dysmorphia lingers.
CK, I think that we can celebrate the moment when we um realized what it was and started becoming healthy because you're right, the dysmorphia does linger, the controlling behaviors and things like that, they do linger on. um, but I think it's a really important thing to celebrate in yourself that you got healthy. Like it's still a milestone and it's still really important, so it is a big thing because I think eating disorders are so detrimental to our bodies. I'm not, I think, I mean, I know the damage that it does to your heart, the damage that it does to your kidneys, even the damage that it does to things like your spleen and stuff like that can really, I mean, you can shut organs down by not eating and they won't ever work again, there is a lot that lingers with it though. And I think it's because for me, the eating disorder was such an emotional thing, like it was me controlling things. And dysmorphia is hard. I think it's really difficult to see in ourselves what others see in us. And there's been times where I've even, and not even like physically, like, how do I look, but like even I know I asked one of my friends the other day because they watched me on Needing to Meeting and then they watched me live on another platform. And I'm like, am I consistent? Am I the same? Am I the same person in both places? And I think that that's part of it too. Just that insecurity for me. I'm not speaking for you, but for me in myself. And that's the thing. I'll be 48 next month, and that's the thing I still struggle with, just as much as I did. But I do think we should celebrate, um,
Yeah.
being healthy, because it is a thing, and it is, and I mean, I've not ever been an alcoholic or, battled addictions like that, but it still takes a lot of work on yourself to get there. It still takes a lot, and please don't ever discount that. And anybody out there dealing with an eating disorder, it is serious, and it
Yeah.
is complex, and it is hard, and it really is something um to work on and to celebrate, when you get to that point, you know?
I was not aware of this. Taking them for years can exacerbate the pain. I just got sick of being a slave to the painkillers, and the doctors said enough. I did not know they could exacerbate it. I guess after a while, that kind of makes sense. Wow.
Pup groomer, hello.
See, Henny says, CK journeys take time. Being aware of it makes a difference. I'm proud of you for recognizing the behaviors and talking about them.
Yeah, yeah.
Zelda says, I went off slowly by myself. Main problem is waiting for your dopamine to kick in, your own natural level. I'm guessing. I'm trying a very small dose of Adderall and it's helping a lot. That's good.
Hmm.
Yeah, I guess you do kind of mess with your dopamine centers.
Mhm.
Makes
It is,
sense.
Yeah.
yeah.
Plant freak, get home safe, says Henny. Looking forward to seeing you soon. Anik says, Zelda Z, I've only taken painkillers for short periods of time, like with broken bones, and I've found them to make the pain worse even then.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. When they wore off, it seemed like the pain would come back at least twice as bad.
Wow.
You know,
Mm.
so what are we doing? What are we doing putting people on something to manage pain that's not really managing it?
Hmm.
Right, right.
Did you find that you were using your back or something when you were on painkillers? Or
Using what, Ben?
oh,
I think
is my audio level too low?
it's a little low.
Okay. How about now? Any better?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering if that was because when on painkillers she probably got up and moved around, or
Okay. Oh my God, CK. I remember you talking about this. My dad started giving me Vicodin at 8 years old and maybe 10 years old, 100 at a time
wow.
in boxes of samples. I know the feeling of exasperation is, but I'm still on Suboxone now after 2 years.
Wow.
Golly, CK. What the hell? What the actual hell?
My gosh.
Yeah.
I
Like,
was
what?
wow. I was worried about being on them for like what 2 weeks. Wow.
Right.
Well, and I mean, what was the reason your dad gave them to you? Like, did he just say,
Yeah.
"Here, take these"? Was he trying to, like,
What's the end game? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, like, that's, um, our house is a pharmacy. My father is a
Pharmacy.
heart surgeon. But did he give them to you and say these will make you feel better? Like, were you
Andy's
in pain? Was he trying to control you in some way by giving you these? Like, I mean, that is, oh my gosh.
Was
And
it
I have a high tolerance to pain, and pain meds probably because of alcoholism.
no, I
Okay.
didn't know that
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
be a
You can
thing.
really build up your tolerance to a lot of things,
yeah.
with an alcohol habit. It's not a good thing by
Right,
any means.
right, right, right.
Were
The
you
last
in?
time I was prescribed painkillers, I only used 7 out of the 15 tablets and then switched to acetaminophen combined with ibuprofen. That worked much better for broken bones.
Wow.
Yeah, the
Mm.
anti-inflammatory properties of the ibuprofen,
Yeah.
you
Were
know,
you in pain though, CK, or was it just
Well, she
because?
kind of answers. She said, "I don't know. I think he thought it was showing love or God knows what. I'm not making excuses for him at all. I just don't know. Well, no, I mean, that's fine. I mean, you don't know. You know what? I am just so proud of you for getting off of them and being on Suboxone and being here and talking
Okay.
about everything that has gone on in your life, because that just sounds, I, I was thinking about this the other day when I was, I've had migraines, really, really bad migraines, and they're hormonal migraines, but they're also related to barometric pressure. And I used to get 4 or 5 of them a month when I was really young. And I had really bad like cysts on my ovaries and everything like that. Like there was just a lot of problems that I had. And my mom was a nurse, and we went to the doctor to just make sure that like it wasn't cancerous or something like that. And they wanted to give me I can't remember if it was Percocet or Vicodin or something like that at that time for this. And I mean, I was a young teenager, and my mom and dad said absolutely not, no, like you are not giving our daughter any of that. And I'm so thankful that they did that, because I could see where that could really turn into, an issue. And I was so thankful that they didn't do that. And then to hear this other story, it it breaks my heart, but it shows your strength.
Yeah.
CK, it shows your strength that you
Yeah.
can see this, and that, I'm just so proud of you
I am
um
too.
to be here. And oh, it's okay. My memory's shot too. We're
Yeah.
about,
I think it's good to
you
talk
know,
about. I think it's
yeah.
good to talk about. And Zelda says it's interesting. You can Google it. Doctors won't tell you. I probably bought him a new yacht with all the visits. That's kind of disgusting, really,
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
on
Yeah.
his part. When they wore off, Anique says, and when they wore off and come on now, pain came back. It came back at the same level, not 2 or 3 times as bad. Okay, with the
Oh,
acetaminophen and stuff like that. Yeah, interesting. It does make you wonder what that stuff's actually doing to your body and your brain.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
But is Vicodin, is that hard on the liver too?
I think almost
I,
all the pain
I
stuff is
think it
hard on
all
the
is
liver.
Yeah.
pretty
Some of
pretty
it can be
bad.
pretty bad on the kidney too.
Mm.
I,
Kidneys.
well, and your liver can regenerate itself to a certain point. Your kidneys
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
And so, like, when I had my misdiagnosis and I was on all of those, like, psych meds, I couldn't think of what they were called. That's the damage to my liver. I mean, they had to take my liver values, but they were way more worried about my kidneys.
Mm.
And so, now I've got like heart things and kidney things kind of going on. And it's from not only the eating disorder that I had for a long time, but from being on that medication because
Oh.
I was on that medication for years at those really high
Oh.
doses.
Oh
Yeah.
no. I
Oh
didn't
no,
realize it had been a long time.
it
Oh,
was years. I was on,
oh, that's
so I was on
disgusting.
2,000 milligrams of Depakote. I was on 10 milligrams of Risperidol, and then I was on something else, and I
Mm.
don't remember what it was. It was something that would just knock me out whenever I had what they would call an episode.
Mm.
But I was on that for 4 years.
Mm.
So 4 years of being on that. And so my body really is like not in good shape. And
Mm.
and that's why I have to be so
Mm.
careful about what I do, and why I don't do a lot of things. I drink a lot of water and try to help my system out as much as I can, because the doctors told me that as I age, it's not going to get better. But a lot of the damage that I did was because of my eating disorder. Because that was a 30-year thing. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's
Lene, that is one of the things my naturopath put me on. She has me on a bunch of stuff. Some of it keeps causing different issues, so I'm trying to find what does, so I can take this back to her and say, you know,
Yeah.
but yeah, milk thistles, yeah, and it,
I
Okay.
did do a lot of that. You know, it's kind of, my liver at this point is pretty healthy because, like I said, it will regenerate itself, and if you're not, you know, putting it through the ringer per se,
yeah,
you can get a pretty healthy liver back. It's mostly the kidneys and my heart that, and my reproductive system, that is the biggest concern for my doctors, that they're really
Okay.
keeping an eye on.
Right
So,
on.
mm,
Zelda,
yeah.
CK says Zelda doctors are not trained in pharmaceuticals, maybe an 8-hour course in one day. And Zelda says, CK, I feel like I know more than him now. And I was shocked. He was shocked that I went off. That's disgusting. I've got to say on his part, that's
that
not
is,
good.
yeah. Oh, it's him. He's back.
Tim. Tim.
Him,
What?
Lord Kiss Freak.
Oh. So I guess we're yelling at a dog now.
Oh, there she is. Good.
I've got to plug my computer in here.
Oh, I thought you were playing with rope. Oh,
Ah,
CK says you definitely, oh, no, come on now. You definitely know more than him. I can't stand when people say, my doctor made me stay on this or that. I understand, but those are idiots for the most part. Don't know what they're talking about.
mhm.
I
You
that
know?
yeah that was one of the things I realized doctors are like any other profession. You're going to have good and bad, but that was one of the things that got me looking at naturopathic medicine was just simply because this doctor put me on antidepressants over something that was situational largely,
Mhm.
and I started having all kinds of side effects. And I went to him at one point, and hey, I'm having this and this and this. Oh, well, sometimes you get side effects if you're not on it enough. So let's up your dose, and then let's see if you still have side effects. Then we'll give you drugs for those. And that was shortly before I
Oh,
realized that
madness.
yeah, that was shortly
Utter
before I realized
madness.
caring about anything. And it's like, yeah, I weaned myself off of them. And
Mhm.
yeah, um, I just thought, well, I'll try a different approach. And, I'll probably come back to some center. But at least for now, I enjoy going to the naturopath. And she's also a
Mhm.
dietitian. So she's trying to get all my crap worked out.
Mhm.
Right
Mhm.
on. Well, good.
Good.
Trying to, La Chameleon says, trying hard to break the fibro stress cycle here. Each time I take a step forward, another brick gets pulled out of the wall. In 24 hours, one factor in this will be dealt with, hopefully. Well, I hope so, La Chameleon.
Hey,
That sounds
hey.
terrible. Zelda says off topic, did I keep a puppy? Right now, I still have 3 puppies. They are so cute and such a mess. But they're good dogs. They're going to be good dogs. I can tell each and every one of them.
Mhm. Yeah.
There are good and bad. CK says she agrees, Ben. Staying positive isn't easy at times. Thankfully, box breathing helps a little bit. Whatever helps. It does seem
Yeah.
to help. I don't know why, but it does.
Well, because it's actually proven to slow your heart rate and drop your blood pressure. And so when your heart rate slows down and your blood pressure drops, your body just naturally gets to a calmer state. You might not be 1,000% calmer, but it will get you to a calmer state. And that's kind of why. But I'm
It,
glad the box breathing is helping.
Yeah.
And I'm so sorry that you're going through that, but I'm so excited for you that one factor will be dealt with within 24 hours. That's got to feel good,
Yeah.
to help with that. I know about stress. I don't know much about fibromyalgia. I know some people who have it, but um, I'm just so glad that you're here and you watch the replay and you show up to the lives.
Yeah.
We're just here to support you in any way. And
Yeah.
we might not understand how to do it exactly perfectly, but you know what? We can look into it and help you and just be here to support and encourage you and,
Yeah.
through your journey.
Yeah.
So
100%.
I'm glad you're on it. Glad you're on it.
Right.
That is one thing that really does help if you're having gut issues, breathing into your belly and things like that.
Okay.
It really will help. And it's really interesting. Breathing is one of those things that the reverse works too. It's kind of like you can fake it till you make it kind of thing. And that's what box breathing does. When you're breathing to your belly, you'll calm down. If you see somebody panicking, like if you're trying to do body language or something, and you see them breathing, their chest moving up and down, just try to breathe along with them. I mean,
Yeah.
if they're like, and you will get to the same state they're in, even though you're at home. Yeah, if you just breathe into your chest, that's the same rhythm. You'll start to panic yourself just
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah. Well, and one thing I do when I see people panic is I try to look them in the eyes. I would do it with my kids. I'd be like, look in my eyes and, focus, kind of even just getting them to refocus.
Oh, sure.
CK
Um,
says the other day, my brother, another member of the club, was saying that he is using box breathing. I almost passed out. Lene wants to know if anyone has ever tried gummies for anything. I have not.
We tried CBD gummies.
I tried CBD gummies, but
Yeah, I did that.
I couldn't really tell anything.
I
So,
I have tried gummies, the THC kind. I don't know if that's legal in Texas or not, where you're at, but CBD, it does help a little bit. The one thing is that uh, it is going to make you hungry. It does affect people differently. It does affect your mood. If you've got any kind of, like depression or any kind of anything like that, be very careful with because even though weed is something found in nature, it can still interact with medications that your doctor has prescribed to you. Um, it
mm,
it doesn't necessarily, like, I don't know that it's a good, for me, it wasn't a good way to control anything. I tried them for my migraines and it just didn't work. So just be mindful, especially if you're taking any kind of meds, psych meds,
might be kind of
anything
hit
like
and
that.
miss. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not regulated. I'm not saying don't try them. I'm just saying that for me, for my migraines, it was not a good option. And so, maybe.
La Chameleon had said, and I didn't mean to
No,
unhighlight it. I've been taking off painkillers for my back injuries, codeine and Celebrex, as the doctor isn't happy about them being used long term, nor am I. And Scott, nay, welcome to needing a meeting. And fibromyalgia, I want the gummies. I've heard good things. For some people, they really work well. Zelda Z, fibromyalgia is how I ended up on pay pills. It's a really tough syndrome. It sounds rough. It
Yeah,
really
it sounds
does. I mean,
frustrating.
don't you have to watch like everything you eat? And Lord Kiss Freak says that he uses the CBD gummies for his knee pain. And I assume that works well. La Chameleon says, I can't take anti-inflams due to potential reaction with other meds. It is frustrating. Yeah, because inflammation is a lot of what's causing the pain. That's hard. CK says, hi, dared him to bring up the subjective box breathing while he's in the middle of a 7-hour surgery with all those hot shots he works with. They will probably hand him Percocet and say, snap out of it. Well, wow.
Oh,
Like he's in surgery right now? Wow. And Lene says, I'm on psych meds, but read they can be an appetite suppressant. You
Lene,
know,
for me,
I
they
I
increase
kind of
my
have to work on keeping my appetite from being suppressed.
Lene, for me, they increased my appetite a
Oh,
lot. Oh yeah, I wanted to eat everything I could get my hands on.
Yeah.
But with your psych meds though, do be mindful of that. CBD is a little bit different than THC. I don't think THC is legal in Texas. I think you could probably get CBD, which would be fine. But I would still talk to your doctor because it is
yeah,
messing with the chemicals in your brain. Because
that's true.
I mean, weed, if you're doing the THC part of it, it does get you high, and that does affect the chemicals in your brain. And so if you're already trying to get those balanced and then you go in and you kind of mess with it, it might not be a good situation. But just talk to your doctor and see. I would just be very mindful. Really, we don't want anything to go. We don't want you to be in pain, but we don't want anything to go sideways for you either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
CK says, well, I'm assuming now that or am I picking up on this right, CK? Your brother is a surgeon, not as in surgery himself being operated on. Okay. I think I misunderstood there. And she says, I mean, I dared my brother to bring up the subjective box breathing in the middle of performing
Okay.
surgery. No, I'm kidding. I dared him. For me, they really increased my appetite. Yeah.
Oh, that.
Magnesium citrate has helped myself. Bruce, welcome and hi.
Hello.
Yeah. You know,
And
okay, magnesium citrate.
Mhm.
And what does that? I'm not familiar with it. What does that
Well,
do?
it's supposed to help with inflammation.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Mhm.
cool.
I
Nice.
cycle.
Nice.
Sometimes it seems like I like a good appetite helps beat the blues. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm sure it does because it surely doesn't do any part of you any good and have a suppressed appetite. He is one of those who brought up the subject of box breathing. Well, good. And hello,
Yay.
Bruce. Good to see you.
Yeah, glad you're here. Glad you're
Yeah.
here.
And that was one thing I forgot to bring up. My last doctor too, my significant other had fibromyalgia, and he was convinced fibromyalgia didn't exist, that it was all in your brain. So he's like, "Oh, just you're not in pain." It's like, "Oh, that's gonna work really well." Like, yeah,
Ooh,
you just tell her that. You let me get out of the way. Go ahead. Yeah, good
my
plan.
God.
Good plan.
Condescending is
Yeah, yeah,
hell. That's not helpful
yeah.
for anything. He said his blood pressure went from 60 to 140 with just breathing exercises.
Yeah.
Hello. That's amazing.
Yeah.
LOL, I doubt my doctor would approve. I won't take them on my own. I used to get bad munchies. Yeah. Only 4 likes. Smash that like button, says Lord Kids Freak. And yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for that.
Yeah.
The cannabis plant is amazing, says Zelda, but you really need to research the use of the different strains, even with the CBD. I can't use it. Doesn't agree with me. Wish I could. Yeah. It just doesn't seem to do a whole lot for me.
Mm.
The CBD
Yeah.
part anyway. I haven't tried the other. We have legal medical marijuana here in the state of Arkansas, but not recreational. So
And I'm not opposed to weed being used for anything.
yeah, I'm
Just
not either.
because you
I am
asked,
I
I
am
just
pro
wanted to share.
anti-criminalizing weed. Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's a lot we can do. We were talking about pharmacists and stuff. Uh, my daughter is going to pharmacology school, and the reason she is because she's like, there's so much education out there for drugs that we need to do for medications, and she loves that she can help people do that. She was actually going to go to medical school. She started off in the pharmacy and then decided to stay to become a pharmacy because she's like, I love that they have needle exchange programs where she's at, and we can get people Narcan, and so I think I'm not, I want to make sure everybody, I'm not anti medicine or anti-drug or anti anything. Like, I
Yeah.
want people to find what works for them. And
Yeah.
some people
I'm for
need
what
medication.
works.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and some people need medication to manage their depression or their bipolar
Wow.
or their schizophrenia. And if that's where you are, please use it and
Yeah.
have your best life that you can have.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate that I can be a little more hippie in the way that I manage things. But I understand that doesn't work for everybody. And I just want
Yeah.
everybody to know, like, I'm not down on anyone at all. I want
Yeah.
everybody
No,
to
nor am
be
I.
healthy and happy and feel
Yeah.
good and live their best life.
Mhm.
That's really what I want.
CK said acupuncture helps with withdrawal. Good to know. I will have to make a mental note to remember that one. And Kimmy's Playhouse. Hi, Kimmy. I used cannabis to treat my mental health, small amounts. Okay, and
Okay.
so
Okay.
160 to 140. That makes more sense,
Yep.
CK. I thought,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
that's
That
some
other was,
pretty
I was
low
like,
blood pressure there. Hey, one with cat shell. Good to see ya. Would you, and Lene says, would use strictly for weight loss. Read some gummies don't give you munchies. I'm on psych meds for bipolar. Okay. Christy,
one
proud
thing
of your
too that
daughter.
you could,
That's a great
oh,
field. And I'm glad she's
yes,
yeah.
she is, this kid, I remember she was like, I don't know, 9 or 10 years old. And I went in her room one day to see what she was doing. And she was sitting there trying to figure out how much jet fuel it took, or rocket fuel, to get from Cape Canaveral to the moon. Like, that's the smarts this kid has. And I'm like,
Wow.
"Look, I don't know where that came from, but you go." But it is I think people, we need to have good people in all fields. And
Yeah.
one thing I was going to say is, you can try flaxseed. Flaxseed is amazing for helping with suppressing your appetite, controlling your blood sugar. It helps with your digestion. It helps keep you regular. Sorry, not trying to be
Okay.
gross there. And you can mix it with cayenne pepper. And it really helps. You can take it a couple times a day. I take it in the morning and at night, and it is amazing, and it actually helped me lose weight in a healthy way, because I did need to lose weight to get healthy. And it helped a lot, and you can pick it up at the grocery store. I think it's like $6 for a great big bag of it. So if the gummy thing doesn't work out for you, you can try, you can try that. And that won't affect any meds for sure.
Kimmy's Playhouse says, I found that my BPD is much more manageable using small amounts of cannabis. Right on. Whatever works. And
Yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah. And Henny says, here in New York, marijuana is medically and recreationally.
But can you ask if you can buy it from anyone, or does it still have to come from dispensaries?
Well, I think I already know the answer to that.
I want corn in your backyard legal.
I don't know if you guys heard that or not.
I want corn in your backyard legal.
You go to jail for selling marijuana where it's legal recreationally, because the dispensaries are king.
Yeah.
I want fuck you, motherfucker. Grow it yourself. Get it anywhere legal. Sorry. But
Your face, you're like,
it's still in prisons.
honey.
It's legal. Okay, I'm done.
That was Steve, my husband, by the way. We'll try it. It's cheaper than gummies. Okay.
I was living in Colorado when everything went legal.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that, because, and I thought this was so interesting, because marijuana is still illegal on a federal level, all of the dispensaries cannot have a bank account. So they have to keep everything, yes, because it's considered drug money. They're no different than a drug dealer. And so they pay their employees in cash, but they still have to pay taxes on the money, but they can't have a bank account. So it is this weird loophole of everything. It's just such an odd, an odd thing, like you know how it's done. Yeah.
Steve is good comic relief.
He
CK
is.
says you're good comic relief. And one with Shell says, "Wah ha 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 ha, Steve." And Zelda says it's legal to buy and grow in Massachusetts. Yeah, it's a plant. My goodness.
Yeah,
You can't buy
it's
it.
I just
legal.
can't
You
believe they
can,
try to regulate a innocent, just a stupid little plant.
Can you buy
yeah.
alcohol in Massachusetts?
No, you
Girls
can't
like,
buy it at the
moving
pool
on.
hall.
You're just like, yeah, you know.
Because everybody knows what I'm talking about.
I don't know how well you can hear him, but he's
They know somebody who buys it in a pool hall.
we should not want it to be federally legal because the tobacco and liquor companies will take it over. They're waiting. Interesting. I have never considered that.
Yeah,
Huh.
you know, I think that we should have more. I think we need needle exchange programs. I think we need to decriminalize, you know, some of these things. I think we need to get fentanyl under control. Like, there's just so many things that we need to do. And I think there are other places that do it so much better. And you know, it's one of the arguments that my daughter made to me was she's like, why would we not have a needle exchange program? Because she's like, otherwise they just end up on the street and then your
Yeah.
kids get hurt or your dogs
Yeah.
get stuff on or whatever. And you know, and I think that we need to, for the people that are still in life and who are still in active addiction, we need to help keep them safe too. It's not just about keeping us and our kids and our fur babies safe and society safe. It's about keeping them safe as well.
Yeah.
You know, if you're in that situation and you're in that life, then you have a right to be kept safe. You have a right to I mean, I think you have a right to medical treatment, and the medical profession has a right to know what you're doing so that everybody can be safe, you know. And I just don't understand not keeping people safe. It really needs to be now. And I've been watching, and I'm not going to go in the weeds here, trust me, but I've been watching a lot of the stuff going on in Texas with the border and everything else. And the way that they're talking about fentanyl and the cartels and the way it's coming across and everything that's going on, there's a part of me that's just like, how do you not understand this is a huge thing and we need to do something about these drugs, you know? And I mean, you know, I never was really in that culture and everybody's like, well, it looks different now than it did then. That should scare us more. And we should be more like, and I don't even know who this person is. I just happened to see it on YouTube, but apparently some dude named Jelly Roll went to go talk to Congress about.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
He had an amazing speech that he gave. I've never seen the dude. I don't know who he is. I don't know what he does. But the speech that he gave was amazing. And, you know, it's like we need to, you know, like this is an important year. And I think we all need to stand up and be heard. You know, I think we need to just stand up and be heard on everything and write letters and say what you need to say and, you know, make your voice heard. Like, make it heard. You know, don't think there was who was it? Somebody lost it a primary by one vote. Somebody lost it a primary. I can't remember I think it was New Hampshire. Somebody lost New Hampshire by one vote. So get out there and be heard. You know, if this is something you're passionate about, write to people. You don't have to wait for a bunch of people to do things, you know, like Don't let the cartels take over our country. Don't let fentanyl kill our children.
Yeah,
And our
we
friends.
have to stop the fentanyl, and we do. We
We
do.
do.
I don't know how, but we have to. And it has to be an effort with the government and us, all of
Yeah.
us,
Yeah.
every last one of us.
And I'm telling you, if you guys aren't good at writing things, I'll tell you what, I will sit down and I will write out a form letter and I will email it to you and you can print it off and sign your name to it and send it to everybody. I've offered to do it for the boat. I've offered to do it for Tommy. I'm dead serious. I'm pretty good at writing stuff. I'm not trying to brag on myself, but I am. I mean, I do a pretty decent job. I will write it, reach out to me, be like, hey, and we'll put it up. But, it's things like that. And, people get so sidetracked on the wrong things.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, Trump's being indicted. Okay, well, great. So is a bunch of other people. Again, not getting into the weeds, but, we've got a fentanyl crisis on our hands.
Yeah.
We've got people being trafficked into our borders. There's like 6 million illegal immigrants, and we can't track them. We don't know if they're bringing little kids in to do awful things,
Yeah.
and I understand the world's not perfect, but I think
Yeah.
there's,
Yeah.
I would rather say something and just have it kind of like chucking a pea in the ocean. I would rather do that a million times over than stand back and not say anything at all.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I really would. Like, whether it matters or not, you know what? I'm sending those letters, and I'm going to send them every day. And I don't care. Eventually somebody is going to get really annoyed and be like, shut this person up.
Well, and that's what I ran. One of my friends is a state. I should. One of my acquaintances. I know him. We're friendly. We're not unfriendly.
Mhm.
But yeah, that was one of the things I had to finally take up with him. It's like, no, I'm going to start hammering you on this stuff. And he's the guy I'm trying to get in contact with. Tommy about. He did actually crack on prison reform. But I'm still trying to get him in contact with Tommy anyway, because Tommy, he just knows the stuff so much better than I do, and I'm pretty sure I keep forgetting like 20 things every time I talk to him. So, but yeah, that is one thing that there are so many things to be hammering people on. The status quo. This works, being quiet worked really good up till now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right. Well, and I agree, Zelda. It's a major problem that has unfortunately become political. But we can depoliticalize it. Just take it back and say this is a human rights issue. This is you cannot invade our state issue. This is and again, I am all for people coming into the country and having opportunities and doing it the right way. So many people have. That's what our country was founded on. But you know what? I don't want you coming across with children that you've stolen or fentanyl or being part of a cartel or something like that. Like, and it just is, it's sad. I don't ever talk about it.
No strikes here. I don't mind people saying what they need to say as long as they're owning it and it's not, trying to move somebody from one opinion to another, or be in any way coercive. Just if you own it, I got no problem with it, and as long as we're all respectful, I see no issue.
And this is a good year to do it. It is an election year. It's a great year to stand up and to really say, hey.
That is a good idea, Zelda. We should have a Stop Fentanyl March on Washington. Yes.
I would go.
Yeah. I would figure out a way to be there myself, farm and all.
Yeah. And it's things like that, and this is I love like Thoreau and Emerson and Whitman, and my favorite thing is like civil disobedience. And I'm like, we have a right to stand up and just be heard. And I tell you what, civil disobedience, give me a sign and a marker, y'all. I will go. I will go. So, Debbie Doodles, hello.
Hi, Debbie
But
Doodles.
it is, and I think a lot of things have become unnecessarily political. I think people
Yeah.
try to twist it into things, and really, it's not. It shouldn't be political at all. It is
No,
and
because
that's
it's a crisis that is
right.
causing human death, pain, and suffering.
Mm-hmm.
Plain and simple, straight up.
Oh yeah. Oh, Zelda.
I bet all
Yeah.
those parents who lost kids would march.
Would march.
I would too, Zelda.
I mean, I've been very fortunate. I haven't lost anybody to fentanyl, but I know people who have. I know people who struggle with it. And
Yeah.
you know what? I would stand in support of you.
Yeah.
I really would. And it's like, what are we doing here? I mean, we can be here and we can help each other and be a peer support group and encourage people and put on the tiaras and wave. But you know how hard you worked to
To
get
get
that 6
sober.
months or that 3 days or the 4 hours or the 20
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
And, and it really is like, but see, okay, I'm getting fired up. It really is like, it's a human issue.
Yeah.
It's a human issue, and it has no right to be politicized.
No.
And and like I said, the civil disobedience, I will stand with you. Like, I don't care. And and I think we should be able to talk about things, and like, this is what we're for. We have a voice, we have a platform. So like Carol said, be respectful and kind about it. Don't be a jerk.
Like I said, just own what you
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
Don't be accusing us of something. You got something to say it, own it. It's yours. Yeah.
Right.
It's, and Debbie Doodle's so true. I'm coming up on 30 years sober, and I am terrified of the world.
Yeah.
That is the world of addiction now. It is scary. It is a different world than the world I sobered up in. Oh my God.
Yeah. Zelda, I would put your name on a shirt and I would say "Marching for Zelda Z," and I would put a little heart next to it, and we would just march right up those Capitol stairs. I would. I would. Be like, anybody who can't march, let me know. I'll write your name on a shirt and we'll go. I'm not that far away from DC, actually. I think I'm 9 hours.
CK had wanted to know if Steve and I went to school together. We almost went to school together. His dad was a Methodist minister, and he'd get a new church every few years. They had 3 boys. Steve is the youngest of 3. The middle brother is my age, he graduated the same year I did. And then Wes is 2 or 3 years older than that. And he almost accepted a church in Lincoln where I went to school. But we did meet after we were both graduated. He moved to Fayetteville and I lived in Fayetteville, and we ran in the same circles. So that's kind of where that familiarity probably comes from. Zelda Z says, "I love you, Christy," and I do too.
I was just going to say, I love you too, Zelda.
Carol, if you don't mind me asking, what did you do to your hand?
Oh, this is a wart. I had it frozen off and it scoffed. Then I had it burned off. It laughed. So my husband kept trying to tell me that duct tape would get rid of the wart. So I'm going to try the dadgum duct tape.
I don't know. I think the version I can make up in my head's much more interesting. I think I'm going to go with what I'm thinking.
Okay. Maybe I don't want to know.
Hey, Kenneth, hello.
Hey, Kenneth.
Yes,
Hey. John Lewis said we need to get into good trouble.
Yes.
100. Yeah,
Yes.
I love
You know
that.
what? And here's the thing. Now, I would love to be one of those old ladies. Now, I don't agree with this person's politics, so nobody come for me. But, Jane Fonda is still protesting at like 80 years old. Again, do not agree with what she's doing, okay? Like, don't think she's always been a great person. But you know what? If I got arrested for protesting, you know what? I would make a shirt. I would send that to all my kids and grandbabies, and it would be like, Mama's in jail, Granny got caught. You know what I mean? Like, I would just own it. I would be like, I would wear it with pride, have my mugshot, I'd be like, it's just my, I don't know, just my sassy side.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think? Does everybody feel like we've had a meeting? We talked about some pretty intense stuff, and I think we did a great job of, speaking for ourselves and listening to each other, and I loved it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've got to be able to talk about these things. I don't
Yes.
care if they're political or not. These are real things, real issues that real people have, you
Debbie
know?
Doodles, she protested in college for the National Organization of Women.
Right
Yes,
on.
love that. I
Yeah.
love that. You know, that's important. I think we all have a little inner rebel somewhere. We need to
Mhm.
just let it out every once in a while. you But good, good. Well, I feel like I've had a meeting.
Yeah.
It's been good.
Yeah. It has been good.
Yeah. Well, speaking of box breathing, did we want to do some box breathing and a little meditation and
Yeah.
all
I'm a
right. Let's
protester
do.
from way back, says A.
I
Kenneth.
love it.
I love
I
it.
love it. I love it. Amazing. All right. Well,
We're
let's
gonna
go
do some
ahead.
box breathing, Steve.
We'll do 3 of the box breathings, and then we'll go into a little guided meditation.
Me too,
Um,
Debbie. Oh, me too.
yeah, yes. I thought this was a dating site for old
And I love this. Great meeting. Thanks, everybody, says Lene. I'm not easily offended. Right on. Love it.
Good, good. Yes. All right. Well, let's go ahead and we'll close our eyes and we'll do 3 of the box breathings and then we'll do a little guided meditation. So when we breathe in, for those of you that are new, when you breathe in, if you have a personal mantra that you like to say, you can say it then. You can, say, I'm worthy of love. I like myself, whatever kind of thing that is. On the exhale, get rid of any of those ants or icky thoughts that no longer serve you and release on the exhale. So we're going to breathe in for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, and then you're going to exhale until all of the air is out of your lungs, allowing your shoulders to drop. And then, like I said, we'll go into the guided meditation. So, all right, go ahead and first get loose, roll your shoulders, shake your head, shake it out. All right, go ahead and close your eyes and drop into your heart space, whether that's placing your hand on your heart or envisioning a small version of yourself going into your heart center, opening the door and sitting in all of the love and confidence and compassion that you have for yourself. We're going to go ahead and do 3 box breathing. Go ahead and breathe in, hold, and exhale. And breathe in through your nose, hold, and exhale. Feeling yourself relax. Last one, breathe in, hold, and exhale. I want you to imagine that each and every one of us are standing on a pebbly beach. facing the ocean. We're standing there determined and proud with a strong intention in our heart. And the intention in our heart is to send our wisdom, our power, our love, our compassion, and our passion out to everybody in the world who needs it, to all of the situations that need it, to that person who's struggling in addiction right now, trying to find their way out, to the person who is days, hours, or months sober, continuing the path, to those that are fighting a good fight, to those that are doing the right things in the world, to those who need our strength. So I want you to imagine that we all grab hands and we walk from the pebbly beach barefoot into the cool ocean waters as it laps up around your ankles. I want you to imagine all of our power, all of your power, drawing off all of the power of those with us. Take a moment, focus on one thing that you want to send all of your love, power, passion, and energy to make just a little better tonight. And as we stand there sending out our power to that person, that situation, that event, feel how good it feels to be a part of the solution, even just by sending out your power. Now we take a moment and we're going to send love to each and every one of us and love out to all of the situations in the world that need it. And as we stand there, still holding hands, we look into the horizon and watch the sunset. Beautiful sunset of pinks, oranges, and blues with beautiful clouds. And we turn to each other and we give each other a hug, knowing that we are not in this fight alone and that there is power in numbers. And when you are ready, open your eyes and end with a resounding huzzah.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! All right.
Krista, Melinda, there's the confusion may be partly to do with me. I had to take the dog and the 3 puppies to the vet today and get Edie situated in her horse stall where she's being confined. That doctor's orders, and getting that all ready for her. So I moved the meeting time back about 40 minutes. Normally it's at 3:40 Central, and I moved it to 4:30 Central. So I'd have some time to get my wits about me and all that good stuff. So, yeah.
All right. Well, each and every one of you have a wonderful night. As always, I'm so glad to be here and share in all of our thoughts and opinions and power and love. And thank you for just being here and being you and being amazing. And I will see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Christy. Love you.
Love you.
Okay, Carol. Remember, Switzerland outlawed the ownership of just one guinea pig. You can have 2, but not 1.
I see. Good to know.
That's all I got. I hope switching gears to running the prison is okay, and hopefully your dog pathetic as my Anatolian used to. And kind of lift one paw up in the air, kind of rub, kind of expose her belly. I hope you're able to put up with the pathetic. You want to let me out. No reason to feel guilty. No reason at all.
Well, it's better than watching her hurt herself. So, yeah. She'll be. Actually, she looked pretty content in her little horse stall.
They give her any? I guess she's not on painkillers or anything.
Yeah, she gets carprofen and she's taking an antibiotic.
Okay.
Yeah.
They say how long it would be?
Well, no.
Mm.
Most bones, though, don't they take about 4 to 6 weeks to
Wow.
really
That
mend?
makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. But okay, well, I'm glad to hear your doggy's okay.
Yeah, I
That's
am
great.
too, and it is a relief to know what it is, and that she's gonna be on the mend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't want to lose your friend. So
No.
I hope you have an awesome day. You take care
Thank
and
you.
have
You too.
bye.
Bye. You guys, thank you so much for being here. It's never a meeting without you, and you guys make this a really great place. Bruce, you're saying thank you for the peace. I thank you guys for the peace. Each and every one of you is part of that, and I love each and every one of you, and I'm so thankful for you. Couldn't do this without you. And hope to see you next meeting. And until then, peace, y'all.